He's a smart man, right? So he saves the best for last. That 3D stuff is super cool. So he knew I couldn't cut him off, right? Thank you very much. That's terrific. All righty, so let's move on to prediction number 4. Little controversial, super important. What we want to talk about in prediction number 4 is measurement. After all, what's sexier than an ad campaign that you can measure and optimize perfectly? And frankly, measurement may sound dull, but it's at the absolute crux of high-impact advertising. So today, the metric for search arguably works pretty well. It's the click. People understand it. It's simple. It works well. And it works for some display campaigns too, particularly those that have some kind of a DR component. It does not work for the majority of display advertising. As we move more and more toward branding ads and think about upper funnel campaigns, the click is an irrelevant metric. And yet it is the one that we continue to give our clients, and they continue to judge the effectiveness of online advertising by. An anecdotal data point. The IAB commissioned Bain to do a study on online branding. And they asked all these brand marketers, give us the 10 metrics that matter most to you from a branding perspective. And these brand marketers gave off all their brand metrics, and you heard things like engagement and intent to purchase and awareness and so on and so forth. And they scored them, and they put a nice little chart with the one that was most valued and the one that was least valued. They then said to the same marketers, tell us what metrics you get most frequently from online media providers. And I kid you not, you have never seen a more perfect inverse correlation in your life. The data that we give them is the data that is least meaningful and least valuable to them. But the good news is that display measurement is evolving rapidly. So our next prediction is that by 2015, we believe that there will be 5 metrics that are more widely used and more important than the click. And we're making great progress to that end already. We have tools to measure engagement. We're thinking about things like view-through conversions with video. Importantly, we're starting to let our advertisers understand the impact of their display campaigns on search activity, which is really the real measure of brand lift. I see a campaign, am I now going to go and search on that marketer's product? So that's just the beginning and some very good progress. But I think where we'll end is something different from what we're even aware of today. And just take a moment to think creatively about things like sentiment metrics analysis. Imagine how helpful it would be if you, as a brand, could look at a metric that showed what all the comments across the blogosphere and comments on ads were saying about your ad. And was that sentiment increasing or decreasing over time based on certain initiatives you were doing? Or the real holy grail for the marketer, which is really the micro-geo experiments that are allowing us to measure the impact of online advertising, not just on traffic to your website, but footfall in your stores, and beyond that, with point-of-sale data, to sales in bricks and mortar stores. We're already testing some of these, and I can't tell you right now what the 5 metrics will be. I'll tell you that the click will not be one of them, and we are absolutely confident that display will be measured by more relevant metrics, which will in turn allow publishers to think about pricing their advertising closer to the value that they provide to marketers. So, you guys still with me? Almost there, we're on to number 5. I hope you're thinking about questions, comments, things you agree with, things you disagree with. I'd love to have your feedback on the predictions that we've missed completely, so we're almost there. Our prediction number 5 is social, right? There's no way I could make predictions about the future and not talk about social. So I think you'll like this one. We firmly believe that social marketing is really still in the first innings, or in Canada, I think the first period, right? Somebody turned to me the other day and said, the game hasn't even begun. They're still singing, "Oh, Canada." So suffice it to say that social marketing is at its very, very infancy. And today, most marketers think of social marketing as something that they need to go to one website or another to manage. Well, our message to you is that that is absolutely wrong. Social marketing is not about one website or another website, but social marketing is about all websites running all kinds of advertising right across the internet. In fact, all users should be able to comment on an ad, to like an ad, to dislike an ad, wherever they see that ad across the internet. And that commentary and that feedback and those signals will inform the way that the ad gets shown to the next person, or what ad gets shown to that next person. So what social marketing will really do on the web is fulfill the promise of what the internet, which was supposed to be, which is really this enabler of a true two-way dialogue between brands and consumers. By 2015, I don't even think we'll use the term social marketing. I think it will be just an integral part of all digital marketing. So let's make a prediction about 2015. We believe that in 2015, 75% of all ads across all sites, across the entire internet, will have a social component. So I'm going to move on to our next prediction before the next demonstration, which is going to be a fun one, I promise. So our prediction number 6 is all about rich media. That old static ad banner, pretty cheap, pretty easy to create, not so expensive to serve. Mate, your days are over, because there is no known cure for banner blindness. So as branding becomes a bigger part of what we do online and a bigger part of how marketers think about using the internet, engagement metrics will drive the success of those sorts of ads. And it's not new news to anybody in this room that rich media really drives engagement. In fact, it's pretty interesting today and shows how far we've gone when you realize that today, using rich media, you can do just about everything that you used to need a fully developed website to do within an ad unit without ever having to leave the publisher's site. And you all know that it works. You've all seen the data. Research shows incredible performance uplifts versus standard flash banners, right? So purchase intent on average increases 4 times when you use rich media. Awareness 5 times. Brand favorability up to 15 times. So this data is unbelievable, right? There's no question rich media works effectively for advertisers. So you all use it all the time, correct? Right? Bullshit. Who said yes? Take a guess at what percentage of the ads that ran online over the last 12 months were rich media enabled? 12? More? Less? Around 5%. 6% of all ads that ran online were rich media enabled, and yet we know that it works so well. So the question is why? And I'll tell you why. It is really difficult to do. It's expensive to create, it's complicated to serve, it's hard to measure. So what are we doing about it? Well, the good news is that that's changing.